I'm 96 years old, and the most powerful lesson I learned about love came too late. It's not easy to admit, but I've spent a long time believing that love was something you could just show, through big gestures, through sacrifices, through doing what's expected. I spent so many years thinking that if I did everything right, everything would fall into place. I worked hard, I stayed faithful, I provided, and I thought that was enough. But now, I realize I had it all wrong. You see, I never really understood what love was until it was almost too late. Not for a lack of trying, but because I misunderstood what was needed in the first place. I was married to Carol for nearly 50 years. We had our ups and downs, like any couple, but I always believed we were doing all right. I thought love was about keeping everything intact, about making sure we were both comfortable, making sure I was always the man who took care of things. I never questioned it. Work hard, be reliable, stay faithful, and show up when needed. That's what I thought love was. But it wasn't. I remember one evening about 10 years ago, sitting in the living room after dinner. Carol was sitting beside me, and I was watching television, thinking about the things I still needed to do the next day. Carol was quiet, just staring at the screen, not really watching. And after a few minutes, she turned to me and said, "Do you ever think we've spent our lives together, but never really lived together?" I was taken aback. I didn't know what to say. She wasn't angry, she wasn't upset. She was simply tired. Tired of the routine we had built, tired of the silence that grew between us over the years. She wasn't asking for grand gestures. She wasn't asking for more material things or more of my time spent working. She was asking me to be present, to truly see her, to feel what she was feeling. And I couldn't. I brushed it off, thinking it was just another one of her thoughts that didn't quite fit into the bigger picture. I'm doing everything for her, I told myself. What more could she want? But now, I know that was the mistake I made for years. I didn't see her. I didn't feel the need to ask the right questions or listen when she spoke of her desires, her fears, her loneliness. I was busy. I was doing everything I thought was necessary. But I wasn't giving her what she needed most, my heart. What I realize now, after losing her 6 years ago, is that love isn't about just doing things for someone. It's not about checking off the boxes of what you think they want. It's about being there, mentally, emotionally, fully. I thought love was a duty. I thought love was the job you did, the responsibility you carried. But Carol showed me, in the quietest way, that love is in the connection, not the routine. She was telling me, in the simplest words, that she needed more of me than I was giving. And by the time I understood that, she was gone. I remember the last few weeks of her life. She was in the hospital, and I spent most of my time at her side. We talked more in those last days than we had in years, and it became painfully clear that I had missed so many opportunities to truly be with her. She shared dreams she'd never voiced, hurt she'd never expressed, feelings of isolation that I had never even considered. And in those moments, I felt like I was hearing her for the first time. She told me she'd always wanted to travel. Not to fancy places or faraway lands, but simple trips, small adventures, things we could have done together when we were younger. She mentioned the local park, how she always wanted to walk through it hand in hand, how she'd dreamed of picking flowers on a sunny afternoon. It wasn't about the grand trips or the expensive gifts. It was about the quiet moments, the togetherness. and I had missed it all. I had been too focused on doing, too focused on providing, too blind to see that love was about sharing those moments. She told me, "I just wanted to feel like you wanted to be with me. Not because you had to, but because you wanted to."
I had never heard her say that before. It struck me deep in a way that I couldn't ignore. All these years, I had been doing what I thought was right, and yet I had missed the essence of love. Love isn't about duty. It's about choosing to be there, choosing to share in the small, beautiful moments that come and go so quickly. Now, I live with the regret of knowing that love isn't just about what you do, it's about how you show up. And I didn't show up in the ways that mattered. I've learned, too late, that it's the small things that matter. A touch, a laugh, a quiet conversation that doesn't need to be grand or profound. The way you make someone feel seen, heard, and loved. It's the unspoken moments that create the deep bonds. And I didn't give Carol enough of those moments. I look back and wish I had known sooner. But the truth is, you don't always know what you have until it's gone. You don't realize how much you've missed until the silence of that absence is louder than any words you could have said. So, if you're listening to this, and you're in a relationship, I ask you to think, really think, about how you show up for the people you love. Are you just there in body? Or are you really present, emotionally, mentally, heart and soul? Because when you lose someone you love, you can't go back. You can't change the moments you missed. You can only wish for the chance to have done better. And I wish, more than anything, that I had done better for Carol. Not just with grand gestures or the things I thought were important, but by truly being there in every moment, just as she needed. I'm not telling you this to make you feel guilty. I'm telling you this because I don't want you to make the same mistake I made. If you love someone, show them every day. Love isn't about just showing up. It's about showing up with your heart. If you've learned something from my story, please like this video, leave a comment, and share it with someone you care about. If you want to learn more lessons from experienced people like me, like this, subscribe to the channel. There is more to be learned than your eyes has seen. Don't repeat our mistakes. Thank you.